appreciate y'all coming to check me out over here. You know, we got to talk about Jimmy, Mr. Jimmy Kimmel, and all of his little situation he going through. I don't think he's talented, so that's why I named it this. Like, why is this guy back? You know what I mean? I don't agree with what he was doing with, saying negative stuff because you got a job, and at a job, you got to follow the rules and blah, blah, blah. We already know what that means. But he got into some row trouble because of what he said, and the people weren't playing with him. So let me go over here and see if I can find me some Jimmy Kimmel in the background. Or if I deleted him, there you go. That's one right there. There go a JM, Jimmy Kimmel, JK, Jimmy Kimmel. You know, I do not think the guy's funny. I have never laughed at none of his jokes. He's so fucking corny to me. But he is somebody who's made a lot of noise in the last few days and coming back and having to come back and all that crap he's been doing. And people are all emotional about it. So I really want to know what people think and what y'all think about Mr. Old Jimmy Kimmel. Let's see. There we go. I'll ask a question like that in a poll, and then I'll let everybody come on in and answer such a question. You know what I'm saying? So you let me know what y'all think. Are you happy Jimmy Kimmel is back? Are you happy Jimmy Kimmel is back? Well, the guy definitely has made a indelible mark as an entertainer and as a guy with all of this name recognition and respect in the game. They really fuck with him. He's heavy duty. You know what I'm saying? But some of his stuff be slapsticky, and I guess it's a bunch of people that like him or like his style of comedy. But to me, it's like, dude, it's so bad. It's like thumbs down. But, he still has a nice following, America loves Jimmy. So let's get to see some of his video. Let's see if we could see some of his video. All right, let's let it play and see what we can see. So we gotta let him set up. Uh-oh, that's a little loud above my head. Get out of here. Yeah, so anyway, I don't think the guy is that funny. I didn't think he really entertained me growing up, and I want to know what you guys thought about him. I don't think he's funny. I don't think he got no skills like that. But I think it's other people that do like him for some reason. So they was kind of sad at him losing his job. Let's see what he got to say.
If you're just joining us, we are preempting your regularly scheduled encore episode of Celebrity Family Feud to bring you this special report. I'm happy to be here tonight with you. Arsenio, Kathy, Wanda, Chelsea, even Jay reached out. I heard from late night hosts in other countries, from Ireland and from Germany. The guy in Germany offered me a job. Can you imagine? This country has become so authoritarian. The Germans are like, come here. Come loose. My boyhood idols, Howard Stern and David Letterman, were very considerate and kind, and I feel honored to be part of a group of people that knows what goes into doing a show like this. And I also want to thank all of you.
So as you can hear, the crowd is real happy to hear him being back. People are really cheering for him. And he's like I said, for 10, I don't know, it's been over 10 years. He's probably been up there like 20 years. And he's made statements in the game, and people like to see his comedy. They come over there and watch him. They come over there and mess with him, you know what I'm saying? But I used to like black guys like Arsenio Hall You know, there was even a time when Magic Johnson was a stand-up guy doing late night, and even Sinbad had a late night show in my time frame. But you know, and it's been more. It's been more. You know, I think that guy Chris Spencer had one. I think that's his name. I'm not sure, but these are just people who's had time to do, you know, stand up and all. Like when they put these Jimmy Kimmel and these clowns in the game, they stick them there. They are locked in for 20 years, 30 years, and they don't deserve it. They're not even that that good. Like they are bad. Like their comedy sucks. And then after you see how they operate, they basically be racist white dudes. You know, this guy, Jimmy Kimmel, got pictures of him wearing blackface and shit like that. It's like next level sad. It's like, wait, so we're supposed to be supporting him if he get kicked off of his job as black people, but he literally got blackface. But I thought you was against Charlie Kirk because you saying Charlie Kirk was a racist, but then you doing racist behavior. So which side do black people fit on? Like, do we rock with Charlie Kirk because he was keeping it 1,000 with what he believed, or do we keep it with the Jimmy Kimmels who could be victimized and shit by the Charlie Kirk side, and then all of a sudden we supposed to take his side because, well, technically we do vote Democrat, but you get to walk around with a motherfucking blackface on and all that stuff. So it's like crazy, but as we have noticed that the wealth regard in wealth, this has shown that money is more important. Nothing matters more than the money. You know, Jimmy Kimmel and his show, without regard, they get advertisements. They got people watching. They can put different things in front of that demographic. That demographic who watches shows is like older people. They got good jobs. They going out buying things. So the ads, they want to be there. The medical ads, the different travel ads, the car ads, the stuff that's high end payments, and they want those people to buy it. You know what I mean? So they can't switch up and start putting, you know, like swimsuit ads or summer break ads on there because that's a different demographic. They'll be watching that. So the money is what's making sense for Jimmy Kimmel. He's basically built a brand that they can put money and ads behind. However, the FCC guy who run the FCC, he's still not down with it. They are Charlie Kirk fans, and so for a lot of dude's show, they wasn't able to play it in certain areas in the country. It was only in certain other areas. Now you know on YouTube you can watch it through and through, but obviously when it came down to people watching his show, everybody didn't get a chance to see it. But you know, they money is more important than politics in a lot of ways because people are building wealth, and somebody like him who's hired so many people to work on the show. When Arsenio Hall, when I was young, had an issue, he had brought like I think Farrakhan on his show or something like that. They fired him within a few months. He was over with, and his show never came back. I mean, I think it did come back when I was like 30 years into my future, but you know, because I was a teenager when that was out, and they brought it back for a minute, and it really wasn't what it was. Obviously, 30 years into the future, but they at least tried to come back with it. So with Jimmy Kimmel's show, he's just so connected. It's so on the in crowd that they're not gonna let him lose. You know. So I want y'all to hit the poll. Are you happy Jimmy Kimmel is back? Are you a fan of Jimmy Kimmel? Do you watch his show? Hit the like button, show some love. Let me know if you guys interested in Jimmy Kimmel because I really don't be interested in him. I literally stopped watching late night when he got the job. He was that bad for me. He was like, damn, this dude is corny as hell. Like, what the fuck? You know, but I didn't hire him. They hired him. But he should have never got the job if you ask me because the guy's untalented as a motherfucker. Jimmy Kimmel should not be doing it. But you could tell these people who support him, anything to go against each other, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, they don't, even if they not fans of Jimmy Kimmel, they're going against Trump and him. So it's like a battle. It's like the ongoing battle. Like when the one person make it, the other person hate the other one. It's just how it goes. audio. He put his own self in that trick bag by playing with the people. You know what I'm saying? By basically disrespecting the people on the other side. So sometimes at a job or even when you building wealth, sometimes you don't know who play what job, who play what position. Some people play positions that could kind of stagnate you. Some people play positions that could block you. You know what I mean? So that don't mean they'll be blocked forever. Or you can't ever get around that. But if you could rub these people wrong, or they can even put themselves in the dynamics where if you rub them wrong, they can try to stop your growth or stop your movement or stop you from doing things that's concerning to your career or job or business. So, you're not going to be able to rub everybody right. And then things you say, I mean, it's words. They can sometimes affect people, you know what I'm saying? That shouldn't have stopped you from moving forward or chasing your objectives. But it's just something to keep awareness of, that if you're building wealth, you're building money, you can do things or say things that could get people upset. And I believe that that's one of the strongest things why hip hop is strong. That's one of the strongest things why hood films is strong, because it's wrapped around the freedom of expression. It's wrapped around the freedom of expressing and saying what you want to say and not being bogged down. Because at the end of the day, being inside those little circles or sections of groupings that you would want to be a part of, it's easy for people to stop you and block you, all because they are seeing the interest that you have to be involved. Like, hey, well, you know what? We don't have to really kiss this guy's butt. He got to kiss our butt to get around here. He got to kiss our butt. But if you independently stoked and you independently built, then you don't have to worry about nobody saying that's the end, this the last day. Because that's really what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. He got fired. The other thing is that the swirling of America, the people who also go through that at work, they decided that we're not going for that. We're not just going to let you fire him, and then that's it. Maybe I'm a fan. Maybe we've been watching him for years. All he did was say something, and then, you basically putting a person above another person. So we don't agree with that. It's a lot of people in the world, and a lot of people got statements and feelings. And so you're a studio or a station, or you're ABC or Disney, the people are going to let you know. And then, like they said, Disney lost $4 billion within a day or two. So if you got this standard or positioning, and you can lose $4 billion every day or every few days, then that's your business. Go ahead. Stand tall on your feeling. Or you want to renege on that thought, and let's go ahead and get back to making money, because $4 billion can run your ass in the ground. Who even make $4 billion? Now, let alone losing it? The average thought is going to be like, no way. We got to fix this quick, because that's not something you want to just work out and do. And hey, man, we losing $4 billion over this one guy who's not going to change his mind or apologize. So you might as well get to business and think of more of a corporate level. And this is, again, money, wealth, building the stakeholders. It's people who are investors. It's people who work there. It's people who, so many levels of people who are affected by one guy leaving a job. Now, the way it works. He's going to get fired. They always do this to late night hosts. They give them a fake fire at first, and then they go back to the job like, I don't want to leave. And they might give them a year or 3. Sometimes I think Jay Leno got an extra 5. And then they come back and be like, no, we said you fired. And that's what happens. And I think they did that with the other tall dude, too. I forgot his name. He's on like one of them cable stations now. They gave him a fake fire, and he was like, am I fired? Damn, I can't think of his name. But then eventually, they came back around within about 4 years, and they fired him. The big tall dude and shit with the blonde hair. I forgot his damn name. But yeah, this is what they do to late night hosts. So you can even look at this like that. Oh shit, they fired Jimmy Kimmel. That was a fake fire. He came back. He got a job. You could look at it in about 3 to 5 years. He's gonna be out of there. You almost can look at it like this: when Trump is out, he gonna be out. But it's not gonna be Trump people that fire him. It's gonna be the Democrats. So he's not gonna get another 10 years in the game. They do a fake fire on them. That's what I've been noticing. I've only noticed really like 1 or 2 people just ease completely out, and that was like Johnny Carson and David Letterman. When they was saying it was over with, wasn't no fake fire, wasn't none of that. But then everybody else, it was like this whole, I'm gone, I'm back, and then eventually you don't ever see them again. They gone. They put the new people in. So that's what's going to probably happen to him. You know what I'm saying, as far as that go. But I don't think he's talented. I don't think he's never made me laugh. I tried so many times when I was younger, and you watching news and shit like that in the house to laugh at this dude. This dude was so bad. It was like, oh, Jimmy Kimmel, the garbage. I couldn't wait to stop watching that goofy. I'm so happy he got fired, but they brought him back because of what he stands for. Like the whole Democratic. But like I said a little bit ago, he actually is a Democrat, and supposed to be standing for freedom, but you wearing blackface. You're a racist. And now you're supposed to be against Charlie Kirk, who they claiming is a racist, but you literally got blackface on. You, Jimmy Fallon, all of them just walking around like that. But it's supposed to be okay because you fake like black people, but I guess you like us better than the Kirk people or something. I don't even know what none of that shit mean. You know, they racist to me.
My wife, my kids,
Let me see what he got to say.
because of what I choose to say. And I know those threats don't come from the kind of people on the right who I know and love. So that's what I wanted to say on that subject. But I don't want to make this about me because, and I know this is what people say when they make things about them, but I really don't. This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this. Yeah! I've had the opportunity to meet and spend time with comedians and talk show hosts from countries like Russia, countries in the Middle East, who tell me they would get thrown in prison for making fun of those in power, and worse than being thrown in prison. They know how lucky we are here. Our freedom to speak is what they admire most about this country. And that's something I'm embarrassed to say I took for granted until they pulled my friend Steven off the air and tried to coerce the affiliates who run our show in the cities that you live in to take my show off the air. That's not legal. That's not American. That is un-American, and it is so dangerous.
All right, so I don't believe shit he talking about it being un-American and shit like that. I look at it like everybody else. If you have a job, more than likely it's a 9 to 5, or like even him, he has a job that's like a 9 to 5. Monday through Friday, they film throughout the week, and then you off. You get to go off. You off work so many weeks, off so many days, and it's just a job. So if you do the wrong thing at a job or say the wrong thing at a job, we already know what happens. Everybody go through the same game. It does not matter who you are. They're going to call you in there and say, hey, we're moving in another direction. Hey, we don't think this is work. So I don't have no sympathy for somebody who has to go through what everybody else go through. You know, maybe you a celebrity and they might give you one little in where you don't probably have to be, embarrassed by it, but he's going to get fired. Just like Stephen Colbert and everybody else. You're not going to sit there and just have the job. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that, especially when you've rubbed people wrong. Because still in all, the people that don't like him, they're not tuning in. You know, for instance, people like me. Like, I'm not ever watching dude. When this show is over, when these episodes about him is done, I probably would never watch that guy again. Like, he's that whack. He's corny. They're not talented. They know somebody. They're in some kind of clique or grouping or whatever, and that allows them to get those jobs and hold it down for decades. But entertaining you, making you find some kind of fun in their shows, zero. You know what I'm saying? So let me know. Are you happy Jimmy Kimmel is back? We got the poll up there. We want to know what you think. Are you happy Jimmy Kimmel is back? Because a lot of people are. Some people that's cheering. You hear the crowds. They like, yay. And then you people like me, I'm not on either side about whether what he said was right or wrong. But as far as a talented person of somebody who I want to watch and entertain me, not happening. Not happening at all. And I gave him many days, many times to do that. And even when you see the videos come across YouTube, it's never nothing that I care about. It's nothing. it's like, and I think them wearing the blackface is more like when you see black guys wearing the dress. It's like a rite of passage, like they asking them to do this, and they maybe not want to do it, but it's like, hey, if you in this gig, if you work here, this is the process, this is what you should try to do. It's okay. And then he just do it. You know what I'm saying? And then now they hide it, they push the videos in the background so you don't see it, but the internet is here, it can pull up everything. So you can't hide no more from whatever you was doing as far as being racist or however that worked. But you gotta let me know what y'all think. Do you think Jimmy Kimmel is funny? Do you think Jimmy Kimmel is entertaining? You know what I'm saying? Like I've given him many times of a chance in my perspective, and I don't see the interest in him. We grew up with really funny people. Like Arsenio Hall was entertaining and funny. So and not just on the black side. It was a lady too that was out at my younger years. Her name was Joan Rivers, and she was like an older white lady. But you talking about funny, man. I mean, it was so funny because then I was very young. So I'm talking about 17, 15, shit like that. And then you be looking at yourself like, how the fuck I'm laughing at this lady's jokes? Like, she's old as fuck. And then so now I get massively old in my life, and she ended up passing away. But you don't see that kind of funniness no more. And she would take anything. And matter of fact, she gave Arsenio Hall his start, the comedian, as far as being a Tonight Show host, because she had a show, and certain days she didn't come, so they would always have a guest host. So when they had a guest host, Arsenio would come. There we go. We unfrozen. We unfrozen because sometimes it be freezing. So we have to think about that now. I'm just wondering to myself, do I really care about Jimmy Kimmel coming back? And the answer is no. You know, sometimes I believe that they need new talent in things. You know, to have these old farts being a star today is like, come on. These guys don't even really know how to respect others, and they teach everybody that. Learn how to respect others. Here you are, you sitting up here, you Jimmy Kimmel, you the man, and you don't know how to respect others. I mean, come on. You got the job. They will fire me so fast if I was Jimmy Kimmel. I would be fired so quick. They'd come and tell me, hey, excuse me, let me talk to you real quick. I'd be like, huh? What's going on? Did you say, are you the one who said? And I'd be like, well, when I would see, I was joking. I had meant it like this. And they'd be like, look, let me holler at you real quick. You can't come back up in here next week. We don't want to see you. You'd be like, what? What's going on? No, because look, when they said you said, you sitting back like, got to go back home like, yeah, they fired me down at the Jimmy Kimmel show. What? Yeah, I ended up saying something about, remember that dude who was on TV? Yeah, I said something like, everybody's saying something. Why you get in trouble? Well, I was on camera. I said it in front of, like on air. I said it on air. Now the FCC on me talking about they want me to apologize. Ain't nobody finna keep you with no job if that's what you went through. So that's what I'm telling you. That's white people being able to keep him in positions like that. There's no way nobody gonna keep you a job if you disrespect somebody. They will stop you at a restaurant for getting mad at a customer if they say the N-word, or if they call you ugly or short or dumb. Then you be like, who this lady talking to? And they telling you, hey, you should have held yourself. You can't be calling the customers BIT. Come on. So for him to keep the job, it's kind of like, yeah, you just on the inside. You just one of them people that got the inside connect and shit. So I'm not a fan. I'm not watching. And I guess y'all must be fans, because I see nobody voted for Jimmy Kimmel being back. So I guess that must mean everybody fans. They just ain't gonna say it. Just like when they voted for Trump. Everybody voted for Trump. They just didn't say it. If you ask them, they'd be like, he's a tyrant. He's nothing. When they go on those little booths, it's like Trump, and then walk dead up out of there. Like, I will never vote for somebody like that, because we definitely saw how many votes he got, and it wasn't black people. It was not black people. So that's all I say about Trump and what he got. I mean, about Jimmy Kimmel. I think he's garbage. I think he's not funny. I think he does not need to be having a Tonight Show, and I know he's going to be fired within about 3 to 5 years, just like everybody else I've seen have those shows, and that's just my opinion, and I believe he's going to be gone in a minute. You won't be seeing no Jimmy Kimmel. You'll be laughing at Jimmy Kimmel like, man, it's whack. You know, because again, if you wearing blackface, I know you don't like me. So I'm not about to be one of them black people that be like, I'm not going to make a career if I don't like this white man who don't even like me. So I'm not one of them black people. I like this. If you don't like me don't like you. And that's how it goes. So Jimmy Kimmel is corny, not funny, garbage. He should be still fired, but they don't do that. They look out for each other and hook them up with jobs. But that's just my opinion. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Hit the like button, show some love, and I appreciate y'all getting at y'all boy. All right, peace out.